I meant to upload my mummy's video last night, but I must have crashed hard because I don't remember at all finishing it, as in finishing the review. When I woke up, my phone was open to the video, and then I saved it just to make sure that it doesn't just end up deleted. And then I thought, oh snap, I guess I did fall asleep before I was able to upload it. And I could feel it too. I felt the weight of the day. Yesterday, it was mentally not a very good day. And it wasn't anything in particular that was happening at the moment. It was kind of like the weight of things. I just had a really rough start to my morning, especially coming back to work after the exit I had to have very suddenly and unexpectedly, that I had to even go back out to my car to get the rest of my stuff because I just forgot that I brought all of my stuff with me and none of my stuff for work stayed at the locker. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling of, because you left in a different mental state and you broke from your routine as a result, then you kind of lost your flow type of thing. But anyway, what matters is we're here and I'm feeling significantly better. And yesterday, during the course of the day, I was getting the support that I needed and I was giving the support. It meant a lot that there was one coworker who repeatedly, at least that I was present for to hear on 3 occasions, kept talking about how useful and supportive I was being. This is someone whose role is not primarily to be on a register. Therefore, with that in mind, I said, okay, this is a person who's not experienced with this. I better make my presence known. One of my favorite parts was there was a lady whose card wasn't working, and my coworker was assisting the person who was next, who was, of course, distracting her. So I took over the conversation with the current customer and I was like, do you have a different card? And then the lady's like, no, this is the only one I got. I just used it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Try again. So she tried again. It kept giving the same decline error message. And then I say, so it didn't take it. Do you have a different card? It keeps declining because there's an issue with the account from what the register is saying. And then she was like, I just used it at the doctor's office. Did it take it? And I'm like, what did I just fucking say? That's what I wanted to say, of course. But I said, negative. It's still declining. Let me try one more time. After that, we'll just proceed from there. So I asked my coworker real quick to sign back in, because the way that I know to refresh the terminal is for you to sign out and sign back in. But fortunately, the transaction doesn't get lost. It automatically kicks out whatever card had been processed, and that gives you a chance to backtrack from a payment, because after the payment has gone through, there's no way for me to cancel it and the transaction will process, and that would be a little bit of an issue because then I would have to refund everything and re-ring it in the event someone runs the wrong card. But that wasn't this case. In this case, the card wasn't working at all. When that didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't work, but that's the way to like babysit these people, I was like, how about this? Let's go to customer service and we'll try it over there just in case there's any issue with our machine. There isn't an issue with our machine, and I know it isn't our machine. But sometimes that's the kind of dumbing down that I like to play, just to keep the person who's in denial about something they are at fault with, sort of help keep them chill, so that it looks like we're actively working toward a resolution and we're not putting the blame on them, even though it is their fault. So we went to customer service, and once again, she tried her card. It didn't work. She wasn't by herself. She was with who I assume was her mom, and she had a cast on her arm. I'm assuming she went to the doctor's office, and that's what she ended up saying. Anyway, I'm like, okay, you did indeed go to the doctor, because it just looked like it had freshly been worked on. When we got to customer service, the mom didn't join us because I guess while on my way to customer service with her ticket, she had told her mom to go to the card to grab another card. And then the mom came back with her wallet and a ton of cards. And then we tried one of those and it freaking worked. But as this was going down, my manager happened to be like hovering at the counter as well. And I gave him like three little kicks. And I'm like, I hope this clown understands that I need his presence. And when I kicked him, my kicks were kind of like at his leg. And he looked over and then leaned in a little closer. And I guess when he heard me say, it's still not working, do you have a different card? Then I guess he figured that I'm just signaling him to remain present because PAN, possible assistance needed, as they say in aviation. That's when I actually realized that mom had come back with more cards to try, and it worked, and they were able to finally leave. And then when they left, I was like, so the reason I did that is because I wanted you to be close, because these people were in denial that the card they wanted to use wasn't working. And I just hate it when they start arguing with me about something that's their fault and it's out of control. And then he was like, well, you handled it well, like you're supposed to. And you didn't need me, which is the important part. And I'm like, shut up. That's what you get paid for. You know, we're always trolling each other. But I have made a complete video about that before, and it doesn't stop to like shock me how you're an adult, especially like in your 40s or 50s, and you're behaving in this way. Like, I understand that mistakes happen. Like, say you use a card that you forgot you ran out of money with, you look at it, you realize, oh, I meant to use another one. That's fine, perfectly fine. But when I inform you that your card is declining and you're in denial, and you try to make it seem like it's something wrong on our end, no, 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 no. No, if there's something that our electronics do well, it's informing you that there is a legit problem with your bank account. Everybody ever whose card has declined and they call their bank and they resolve the issue, the bank tells them, oh yeah, there was an issue in your account and it was this, that, and the other. Shit happens. Just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I may need to step aside for a minute to see what's going on, as opposed to doing that stupid little game of, I just used it. And well, guess what? You just used it and you ran out of money. Or you just used it and you had too many transactions in a day, which is what's permissible based on your account settings. You got here and too bad. Like, you got blocked out. I don't know. I don't have your account. You should know. Stay on top of your matters. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be like my warm-up for the day. I looked at it as, and then I said, you know, I guess I understand what it is that makes my manager say that I would make a great supervisor, because that's the type of thing that I just like to immediately get them off the cashier's hands. And when I came back, I told our cashier, hey, so that situation got resolved. She had to use a different payment. She was like, well, good. And I really like that you were here for that. And I'm like, see, that's what supervisors are supposed to do. I said, ultimately, I had to give her the bad news that it's either different payment method or no groceries. But the other person she was with ended up getting the card. I also told her, for me, the most important thing at that time was to get her off your hands so that you don't have to go through that. And that way you can continue with the line, keep the lines rolling. And my cashier, she's a wiser person with some, I guess, mobility limitations, but she still does a good job, even if she's not very fast, whatever. I'm like, don't let that stress you out. Don't let anybody make you feel any type of way, because you got the job. You're doing what you can. They very easily could use self-checkout. You also deserve to eat. Just because you don't have the, by the company standards, highest, quickest performance, it doesn't mean that you're a lesser person and you shouldn't have opportunities to work like the rest of us to earn your living. With a situation like that, I will create a bias about my worker who is pretty much not in as good a shape, I guess, to be in the production line, I guess. And then I say, well, I want this person to succeed. And with my presence as someone who's been there a long time, and with my cashier skills in general, I know that if I combine my powers with hers, that this is gonna work. And that's exactly what happened. So then I became a major delegator. Anytime I had to step away, I requested that someone else hung out with her, or I made my managers take over what I'm supposed to be doing during the shift in which I'm not cashier and I'm kind of like everywhere. And I'm like, you will go out there and get cards. You will go to the back and bring me the supply of bags to replenish our station. You will go out there and tackle this, that, and the other. Even though I don't have the position of authority, I understand how my experience silently grants me the authority. And when I say something, I'm not usually challenged, even by my superiors. But that only works with the folks who are reasonable, because there are some folks who I work with who are like rebellious without causes and for no reasons. And I'm like, all right, I know where you're coming from. I know I cannot count on you. I don't need you, fortunately. Let me instead attempt to rely on someone I know wouldn't let me drown in these moody waters. And sometimes I wonder if those workers feel relieved that I don't recur to them, or if they feel offended that I don't ever try to rely on them. I don't care. I sincerely don't care. But yeah, I just like it when shit just works out and it works with the person that I wanted it to work on. I came back to the cashier and her telling me that reinforced what I was hoping was the effect I was having, which is I'm trying to back you up. And I know that being left by yourself under these circumstances is pretty scary. At least for me, it no longer really is because I've done it so long, but it can get scary when you have other challenges going on. And for me, sometimes, I get fatigued, I get tired, and that's when it gets scary for me. It's like, I'm not going to allow myself to break down unfairly, physically or mentally over this place because I don't have support. I'm going to make my support. And that's when my assertive tone comes out, which is very uncharacteristic of me. Well, there you guys have it, just a little rambling about what's been going on. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have had instances in which you took like a leader role, even though it wasn't actively what belonged to you based off your title. And how did that make you feel? For me, it feels great that it's a power I don't have to exercise daily, but when I do, it means a lot that my judgment worked out. I wanted to back up this person because I identified these challenges, and then this very person, without me asking, ends up telling me what it meant for them and how it was helpful. And that pretty much validates the plan that I'm having, the process that I decided to implement for the day. Okay, that's it. Bye.